most pressing decisions for shippers and brokers revolves around whether to rely on spot freight or contract freight. Each approach has unique benefits and challenges, and striking the right balance between the two can significantly impact operational efficiency, cost savings, and customer satisfaction. In this video, we'll dive into the differences between spot and contract freight, analyze the factors influencing the choice, and provide actionable insights for shippers and brokers aiming to optimize their freight strategies. Now, what is spot freight? Spot freight is the process of booking loads on a case-by-case basis. Rates are determined in real time based on supply and demand dynamics in the market. Shippers often turn to spot freight for short notice shipments, seasonal surges, or to address capacity shortages. Let's look at some advantages of spot freight. First, flexibility. Spot freight is ideal for handling last-minute or one-time shipments. Next is dynamic pricing, as there are potential cost savings during low-demand periods. And finally, access to capacity, which is useful during disruptions when contract carriers are unavailable. Now, some disadvantages of spot freight. First, price volatility. Rates can spike dramatically in tight capacity markets. Next, uncertainty because availability may be limited during peak periods. And finally, weaker relationships due to limited opportunity to build long-term carrier partnerships. Next, what is contract freight? Contract freight involves long-term agreements between shippers and carriers, specifying rates, capacity, and service commitments over a defined period, for example, 6 months to a year. This option provides stability and predictability for both parties. Now let's look at some of the advantages of contract freight. First, rate stability with predictable costs over the contract term. Next, reliable capacity due to having priority access to carrier resources. And finally, strengthened relationships with the ability to build trust and foster collaboration with carriers. Now, some of the disadvantages of contract freight. First, inflexibility due to contract freight being less responsive to sudden changes in shipping needs. Next, missed savings, as rates may remain higher than spot prices during low demand periods. And finally, volume commitments, as shippers may face penalties for failing to meet volume requirements. It's important to look at current market trends impacting freight decisions because several market dynamics influence the choice between spot and contract freight. Understanding these trends can help shippers and brokers make more informed decisions. First, market volatility. The freight market has seen significant swings in supply and demand over recent years, driven by factors such as e-commerce growth, geopolitical events, and natural disasters. Spot freight thrives in volatile conditions, but exposes shippers to higher rates during tight capacity periods. Next, rising costs. Fuel price fluctuations, labor shortages, and inflation contribute to rising transportation costs. Contract freight can offer shippers a hedge against these increases by locking in rates, while spot freight may result in higher expenses during periods of high demand. Next, seasonal peaks. Holidays, harvest seasons, and back-to-school periods create cyclical demand spikes. Shippers often rely on spot freight to manage these surges, but strategic contract agreements can help secure capacity during predictable seasonal peaks. And finally, technology integration. Digital freight platforms and load boards have made it easier to access real-time spot market rates and capacity. These tools allow brokers and shippers to compare options and make data-driven decisions about whether to choose spot or contract freight for a given shipment. Let's now explore some factors to consider when choosing spot or contract freight, because balancing these two options requires a deep understanding of operational priorities, market conditions, and customer needs. Here are some key factors to consider. First, shipment frequency and volume. Contract freight is ideal for high volume shippers or businesses with consistent shipping needs, ensuring cost predictability and reliable capacity. Spot freight offers flexibility without the commitment of a contract, which can be better suited for low volume or irregular shippers. Next, lead times. Contract freight allows for better planning and resource allocation when long lead times are available. Spot freight provides a quick solution for unplanned or urgent shipments, so is better suited for short lead times. Next, budget and cost sensitivity. Contract freight helps businesses avoid unexpected rate hikes and maintain predictable budgets, which is great for those with stable budgets. Spot freight can take advantage of market dips, offering potential cost savings for those with dynamic budgets. Next, service requirements. Contract carriers often prioritize their long-term partners, ensuring consistent service quality for those with high service needs. Spot freight may suffice for non-critical shipments with less stringent requirements for those with standard service needs. And finally, market conditions, because monitoring market trends can better guide decisions. For instance, tight capacity markets favor contract freight for reliability. Loose capacity markets offer opportunities to save with spot freight. The ideal freight strategy often involves a mix of spot and contract freight tailored to your business's unique needs. Here's how shippers and brokers can strike the right balance. First, establish core contract partnerships. Identify lanes and shipping volumes that are consistent and critical to your business. Negotiate contracts with reliable carriers to secure capacity and stabilize costs for these shipments. For example, a retailer with steady weekly shipments to distribution centers can use contract freight for these predictable lanes. Next, leverage spot freight for variable needs. Use the spot market to manage fluctuations in demand, seasonal surges, or new business opportunities. This approach ensures flexibility without overcommitting to long-term agreements. For example, a manufacturer facing occasional production spikes can use spot freight to handle overflow shipments. And finally, monitor and adjust strategies. Freight strategies should evolve with market conditions and business goals. Regularly review performance metrics such as cost per mile, on-time delivery rates, and carrier performance to adjust your mix of spot and contract freight. Now let's look at some real-world examples of successful balancing. Case study 1. A national retailer used contract freight for core lanes, ensuring consistent delivery to its stores. For peak holiday seasons, they leveraged spot freight to manage overflow, maintaining flexibility while minimizing disruption. Case study 2. A regional freight broker serving small businesses relied heavily on the spot market for its diverse customer base. However, they established contracts for high-demand lanes to offer competitive pricing and reliable service. The decision between spot and contract freight isn't an either-or choice. It's about finding the right balance for your business. By understanding the advantages and challenges of each approach, monitoring market trends, and leveraging technology, shippers and brokers can optimize their freight strategies. A balanced approach provides the flexibility to adapt to changing conditions while maintaining the stability and reliability needed to build lasting customer relationships. Whether you're a shipper seeking cost efficiency or a broker aiming to meet diverse customer needs, a thoughtful blend of spot and contract freight can position your business for long-term success. We appreciate you for tuning in and hope you continue to find value in the information provided. Tap in monthly for our latest topics and trends in the fast-paced world of freight and logistics. Remember, this information and more is always available on our website at www.transcredit.com. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Transcredit. See you on the next one.